Welcome back to Stormworks. A few years ago I made a ship called the Frothrider. It was a cargo vehicle, but the glitches have changed a little bit, so that vessel now sinks. So I made another one. This one is the Frothrider Mini. Just like the first, it has a cargo helicopter. Press 1 to disconnect from the locks, and then we can take it wherever we need to go. Technically speaking, this cargo helicopter is enough to do all of the delivery work on its own, but it would be a real challenge to actually pilot it across great distances. That's why you have the boat. Now right now our locks are released. We had to release them in order to disconnect from the ship, so we want to re-enable them just so that we can actually, grab stuff. We get the lasers to show us that we can grab stuff, but this isn't going to be able to be grabbed, and I can tell that because it's got a red icon. See it? You have to remember to turn on the various pieces of cargo that you actually want to grab. Here's one that has been turned on. Obviously, you're generally going to want to grab the ones that are all go in the same place. The Frothrider can handle 4 cargo containers. Just, pick 4 that are going more or less the same place. Use your lasers to line up with the front of the cargo box. And there you go. Easy as pie. Then we want to drop it off on the ship. The ship does not have to be balanced, so you can just take 1 or 3 or whatever. But putting the cargo in the ship is definitely the most delicate part of the process. You want to drop it into one of these cargo holds. Now you can do this from the third person just by using the lasers, or you can go back into first person and tilt yourself forward, and again use the lasers. Either way, it works fine, but you do want to make sure that you don't go down too far too fast. If you try and slam it home, you're going to get in trouble. So, nice and easy does it. And then once you're locked in, you press 1 to disconnect the helicopter, and then you press 1 to re-enable the locks. You're always going to be connecting and disconnecting this helicopter over and over and over. And then we'll just land on the helicopter landing pad. Once again, the lasers show us where we need to be relative to the red spots. Oh, a little bit too far forward there. There we go. Hop out. The helicopter automatically stops once you hop out. Nice and tidy. It's all right here. Where's this going? The Komodo Freight Terminal. So you walk up here, you go inside, and here is your main cockpit. You can obviously drive it yourself. Standard forward, left, right controls. Now, this ship could theoretically go considerably faster, but due to the variability of the weight of cargo, I've capped it at about 60 meters a second. 55 in this case, because we're off balanced. Just because I didn't want it to get a little bit too much. You know how it goes. But we want to go to the Komodo Freight Terminal. And where is that? Well, it's actually right there. So we could click here and then click Autopilot. We could also put that destination in right here. But it looks like that might not be the ideal way to get around these rocks. So we'll just manually pilot around the rocks real fast here. Now, as you might be able to guess, this is a glitch ship. It uses a ton of glitches. That's kind of the main thing it does. I just wanted to make sure that we had a functional glitch cargo ship because the other one is now broken. Too much time has passed. We can go downstairs. Here we are. Down here we have all of our various engineering areas. We got repairability. If we wanted to try and balance the ship, we could do so. If we take a look, you can see how it's on the left. Well, we could add water to the right side of the boat, which would balance the boat. But I don't find it to be necessary. I just put in the capability in case you wanted to do it. It's a pretty specifically engineered boat. There's really nothing complicated going on aside from the cargo. There are some rooms, but they're empty. The only thing they have in them is some stuff that you might need if you're doing cargo runs. They're not really decorated at all. And you can see how we keep falling into the floor. That's due to the high speed of the boat. The faster a boat goes, the more likely you are to fall into the floor. Did I pick the wrong island? I did. It's over here. So I'll just set the waypoint. Nope. Setting the waypoint toggles the autopilot, so in this case, I turned it off. You can see that we're running with propellers and also water jets. This is a very powerful way to get a boat moving, and we're quite nimble. We have the ability to turn on a dime. We can literally stop and turn in place. Also, when the cargo gets anchored, that light turns on, that spotlight to the left there, turns on and lights up the cargo, so that even at night, you can still see what you're doing. See? Now, if you're wondering how well this thing holds up against inclement weather, the answer is pretty well. It works fine in the rain or in the waves. I'm going to go ahead and turn off our autopilot just because I put it on the island, so we would literally ram the island before it shut off. So we'll just manually pilot it in from here. Now, in the old version of this, we could just drive up to the docks and then dump it. The cargo, we could just dump it in the water. Unfortunately, they seem to have noticed that, and so now you actually have to deliver it, at least at all the docks I've found so far. I'm trying to get close without ramming anything. You can see how suddenly things appear out of the night. This ship is not like hyper durable, so it's better if you don't ram into something very fast. You can damage the ship, and then it's a pain in the butt to repair. There we are. This is where we want to be. Now, if you're worried about the fact that the wind might sweep you away, you can always tether yourself using a typical rope set on the sides. We got, just open this door up. We have the ability to use these ropes on that rope anchor and tie ourselves to the deck, but we don't need to. What we need to do is deliver our cargo. So we'll go ahead and just back up and use our lasers to line up with the front of this cargo box and grab it. Which you can do even in fairly high seas. Obviously, if you've got super high seas, I don't recommend it. You should be a little bit careful. But how do we get it off the boat? We're kind of stuck on the boat. Well, as you can see, 2 is port ship release and 3 is starboard ship release. So there we go. Easy as pie. Make sure to click it again if you want to be able to use it again. Now it's dark, so we're going to turn on our spotlights, and we're going to try and figure out where they want this to be delivered. I think it's over here. Yeah, good enough. And then as before, we can disconnect and return to the boat. And that's the basics of delivering cargo with this boat. It is a fun little glitch boat. We can go on a little bit of a tour of the glitchiest part if you'd like. It uses glitch engines that require no fuel, just because I didn't want to have to worry about any of that stuff. But more importantly, it also has these huge holes in the hull, and these holes just kind of work. Down you go. By the way, this helicopter can be fully repaired if you do happen to break it, so no big. Let's turn light back on. This is what the bay looks like. As you can see, there is a giant hole in the top and there is a giant hole in the bottom. That's just plain old water. And yes, you can just have it release the cargo directly into the water if you want, but since the cargo boxes now float for the most part, you're very likely to cause yourself some damage trying to drop it into the water just because it'll get stuck right here. It's better to generally use that cargo helicopter to lift and separate. There we go. That's the boat. If you wanted to do some cargo runs or see how you can do glitch engine stuff, there are worse ways to do it. This is what a glitch engine looks like if you've never seen one before. Yeah. Have a good day.